Good evening and welcome to this evening's edition of Cop Talk on an evening where Liverpool hit 6, on an evening where...
like dominoes.
It's just been crazy. Listen, before we get into it, just like to welcome Artie back to the show. How are you, sir?
Yeah, man, not too bad, my brother. Not too bad, man. Glad to be back and looking forward to another edition of Cop Talk, man. Glad to be
Brilliant. Back. Now, Artie's back, and we've got Dr. Blake. How are you, sir?
Over the moon, man. Over the moon. We are doing well in the league. We're doing well in Europe. We got the cup on Sunday, and Michael Edwards is back in town for next season. So yeah, over the moon. Over the moon.
Perfect. You literally took the word off. All of the words off my lips in all reality. So, for this evening's show, we're going to be covering Michael Edwards returning back to Liverpool. We're going to be touching on the highlights of Liverpool versus Man City in the league. We'll be touching on Liverpool versus Sparta Prague in Europa. And we'll be touching on the preview game on Liverpool versus Manchester United in the FA Cup on Sunday. Before we touch on it, Artie, what did you have for breakfast this morning? And how did you prepare it?
I had porridge, rude boy. That's what I had.
What type porridge? Cornmeal porridge, Quaker porridge?
Quaker. Unfortunately, it was a Quaker porridge.
Is that a microwave job?
No, not microwave. Hot water.
Flavor?
I had what flavor did I have today? I had a golden syrup.
Golden syrup. Have you tasted the apple flavor?
No, I haven't tried the apple one. I tried the berry one yesterday. And a lemon one the day before that. The lemon one was all right still.
Lemon porridge, yeah, okay.
Yeah. It's got a little thing going on still.
Do you have it by itself, or did you have it with a cup of tea or anything?
No, just a porridge by itself.
Okay, see, you just went Rambo with that day then.
Yeah. I'm trying to cut out with the teas, and even though I only have one cup for the day, I'm trying to cut out on them anyway. So I think by having the hot porridge, that's my hot thing for start my day.
Okay, then. I'm not going to ask you the same question, Dr. Blake. I'm going to throw in something a little bit different. Tell me, what color was your first pair of Wellington boots, and how would you describe them?
I said, your wellies, you know.
Jeez. First cut. I think they were black still. How would I describe them? I guess it depends on when you ask me. I was probably a youth, probably about 3 and 4, and my mum thought that I looked stylish. But when I probably looked at the photos at about 14 and 15, I was like, nah, mum. Like, I had no trim. Like, this is a shocking show. And I probably look back at it again at about age 30, and I was just like, nah, man was a smooth youth still. So, yeah, kind of the age of the stage, man. But yeah. But like, see, bruv, I never had a trim. I was just like, mum, like, we live round the corners from the barbers, like round the corners. But in pure my photos, nothing. I was just like, nah. It was like, there was no consideration for future viewing, boy. No consideration at all. But yeah, I guess sign of the time, the glorious 80s, man.
It's good. So were they the ones that come just underneath your kneecap, or the one that was just around your shin?
The kneecap one still.
That's what I'm saying. It's a beautiful thing. Memories as well, man.
100, man.
No, it's good. So I can obviously see that we've got some viewers obviously are going to be ready to come and join us on the show. So don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and most importantly, don't forget to click on that notification bell. So if you are out, or if you are working, or if you are eating Quaker porridge, as Artie was saying, at least you will get the notification on your phone. Good evening there, Mr. Anthony Herbert. He says, big up, guys. What a win. And I hope it be an English final, Liverpool v West Ham. That would actually be interesting as well if that
man. West Ham will get licks.
When's the draw? Does anyone know when the draw is?
Friday.
Tomorrow, isn't it? Yeah.
Tomorrow.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
West Ham will get licks, man. West Ham will get licks. Villa give us a better game.
I was gonna say, is the draw open from tomorrow? Like, can we draw English teams now?
I believe so. I think from tomorrow, yeah.
Okay.
Anthony, you're the one that's obviously mentioned about the us hopefully getting West Ham. Don't forget to put in a comment and whether we are able to. Oh, here we go. He just obviously responded us to us.
12 p.m. tomorrow. Wicked.
Dinner time. That's lunchtime, Anthony. That's lunchtime.
Well, we don't know how people live. So if he's saying dinner at 12, then I don't know how people are living.
What time do you have your lunch? 9 a.m.
Well, good evening, Anthony Herbert. Make sure you reply to RT so we can actually find out if it was a typo or if you really do actually have your dinner at 12 p.m. But we'll see anyway. Good evening as well. We can see it. Who is this?
It's the credible.
Evening, guys. Definitely a cup to lose here. That'd be interesting. We're going to come on touching that as well. And good evening, Mr. Welsh, as well, giving us the eyes. I'm sure that the eyes is probably at Anthony Herbert's comment, but either way, we'll leave that there. So before we start on the show, Michael Edwards returned to Liverpool. He returns, but does he return in a completely different capacity than he currently was when he was previously with us? So I'm just going to put it out there. Michael Edwards returns to Liverpool. What are your thoughts? For this one, I'm just going to present firstly to Dr. Blake, and then I'm going to put it out to anybody that's tuned in the show, and then I'm going to put that comment down to RT. So Dr. Blake.
Yeah.
Michael Edwards returns, and what are your thoughts?
So it's interesting. From the start of this season, I've been saying, it'd be great if Edwards would return. It'd be great if Edwards would return. Then when Klopp said that he was leaving, I thought, we got to try and get back Michael Edwards. But I didn't necessarily see it happening. I just thought he wouldn't go back. And it was almost just a bit too obvious. And then when the rumblings came out, like in the press, that we would be linked to him again, I just thought, okay, this is interesting. Like, is this just paper talk? But then I guess, yeah, there was more and more traction. And I think the way the club have handled it is particularly impressive, as well as Edwards. I think it's good that he's turned down his previous job, because I think it would have almost given a bit too much fire to the rumour mill that him and Klopp had a falling out and things went well behind the scenes. That now Klopp said that he's going, Edwards then goes back to his previous job. So I think from that perspective, it's good that he's coming back in a more senior role, and essentially, I guess it makes sense for him. He will basically be the head of sporting operations, so he'll basically be, if you like, the sporting chief executive of Liverpool, running the club on a day-to-day. And yeah, I just think his skill set is in obviously using data and building a solid infrastructure. So for me, I'm very excited. I know, look, we all eulogize over Klopp, and rightly so. He's been a generational manager, a transformative manager. But, you know, like, there are certain weaknesses to his skill set. And as brilliant as we've been this season, I do maintain, I think we've got slightly lucky. And I say that in regards to Klopp's challenges with moving players on. I think we have to be honest about it. James Milner came out at the end of the season and said that Klopp essentially tried to keep him, but the club kind of weren't in agreement. So we know that Klopp wanted to keep Milner. We know that Klopp wanted to keep Henderson. And we know that Klopp wanted to keep Fabinho as well. So I think you put those three into the squad right now. We don't sign the 4 players that we signed this summer. Our wage bill's £550,000 higher than what it is right now. Van Dijk's not captain. Henderson's still captain. Henderson's still playing minutes, and he's clearly not good enough. So I just think you see that with having that more of a ruthless side to player sales, I think the club would be slightly further on. And I think moving forward, we're going to take out a bit of that sentimentality around who we give contracts to and base it on a bit of data. And I think, yeah, like the clock, I think like the playing squad will probably be of a higher standard year in, year out, as opposed to the recent dips that we've had in recent seasons. So yeah, I'm happy about it.
Brilliant. Well, RT, your thoughts on Michael Edwards returning to Liverpool? What are your thoughts there?
I'm over the moon that he's back. You know what I mean? He's well respected in the game, knows his stuff, man, and you know what I mean. He can the kind of players that he can attract this is what we're all about and what we need going forward, especially at a time now where we're looking at, you know, we're not going to have Klopp. We need somebody who's going to have some form of pulling power, most definitely, and he can pull those strings, man. The man with the contacts. He's man. Everybody want what do you call it? From what I was reading as well, United and Chelsea were interested in him, and he turned them down. Turned them down to come back to Liverpool. So, yeah, no, I'm excited. I'm excited by this, seriously, because I feel, yeah, man, it's going to be a big plus for us, and it's something that we definitely needed, knowing that we're losing our manager. Something definitely needed. It's a boost. It's a boost to the club. Bring him on.
Brilliant. Thanks for that clarification. And so with him returning, and this is me, as he said, I'm not too sure on it. So he obviously comes in. Is his focus then more just focusing on Liverpool and not as part of the Fenway Sports Group?
Well, look, you see, Stoney, if you look in the group there, I see Credibles posted a message about that. So
I'm going to scroll down so I can see. All right. So hold on one second.
It's a good point.
This comment?
Yeah. So
Credible, as mentioned, it's great to be back, but his focus isn't solely going to be on LFC. Is to expand. Oh, right. Brilliant. Okay. Clarifications there then, in a nutshell. All right, excellent. Thanks, we appreciate that comment. I mean, we've got so much comments here coming in. It's going to be...
On the point that Credible's made, whilst that clearly is part of his remit, I do think it's brilliant PR by Edwards and by FSG. Because like I said, I think there are the rumours around him and Klopp having a bit of a fallout, or them coming to a point where it felt like they couldn't work together anymore. And then obviously then, who was the successor to Edwards? What's his name again? Ward, waiting 7-8 years for the job, takes it for a year and then leaves after a year. So there was clearly some kind of tensions between the role of the sporting director and obviously then the influence that Klopp wanted to have. So I think the key things with this is Liverpool didn't release a statement. It was FSG. He's essentially working for FSG, as Credible said, as opposed to Liverpool. Liverpool will be part of his remit. But I think that's just quite clever media management. I think his main focus, I'd say for at least the next year, will be around about Liverpool FC. So I would imagine that maybe 80% of his job will be Liverpool, 20% will be around this sourcing of a new club or thinking around ways to kind of build a new infrastructure. But I think they've done it in a way where it doesn't feel like you've got this Edwards versus Klopp kind of media situation that could be occurring. So I think it's been, very, very cleverly managed by everyone, really. Because, I think the one thing you don't want to do is almost feel like you're going against Klopp. So, I think it's been skillfully managed, man.
And even with the role with Edwards returning, Richard Hughes is going to be there as well. How can you see that partnership working? Because does Richard Hughes come in back as the sporting director?
Yeah, so I think this is the only bit that I'm unsure about, in a sense that I think I do wonder if there's a chance that their jobs may have a bit of overlap in a sense that what Edwards is used to doing, but it might be that Edwards, so because I guess previously when Edwards was sporting director or technical director, he helped to build the system as sporting director. So it might be that in his new role, he will build the system and then the sporting director will then play a role in that system. So I guess, yeah, we have to see. But I guess just doing a bit of research this week, I think, yeah, like a lot of things tie in quite nicely. So the Bournemouth manager shares the same agent with Xabi Alonso. And so Hughes is going to have brilliant links with him already. And then two of the Bournemouth players, I think is Chris Billings and I can't remember the other one. They also share the same agent with Virgil van Dijk as well. So I think in terms of things like contract renewals and signing new managers, it feels like things are in place already. So yeah, I think, this is what Edwards does, right? When everyone's playing checkers, he's playing chess. So
well, look, like anything else, I think Dr. Blake and RT, you've both articulated about Michael Edwards' return and what it looks like with Richard Hughes obviously joining him as well. I think it's at its early stages now. So as you said, we'll have to watch this space. FSG, they've made appointments, whether it's playing staff or managerial staff. And I think they've always been for the good of Liverpool. So as you said, we'll just watch this space as well. I mean, we've had an absolute avalanche of comments actually coming in from people that have tuned into this show at the moment. And at some stage, I will obviously get to them. If it's not now, it will be before the end of the show. So I do appreciate everybody's comments here as well. All right. City, Liverpool City in the league. I'm just going to put it out there. I mean, it seems like even though we've just finished playing Sparta Prague, and we will obviously come to that, City's game actually seemed like it was actually played yesterday. It's still raw in my mind. There's still a lot of thoughts that I've got and I wish to share and express, but I'm actually going to leave it to the panel and I'm going to leave it to everybody in the comments as well. So before Dr. Blake or before Artie comments, I'm just going to scroll on down and I'm just going to highlight some of the comments based on Michael Edwards, and also about the City game. Let's see what you've got here. Anthony Herbert was courteous enough to actually reply back to the comment about when he has his food.
Breakfast, dinner, and teas at 6.
Oh my, good evening. That's
3 in
crazy.
1. Yeah.
I know. Good evening, Vinny. Sir, thanks for joining us on this edition of Cop Talk. I think it's brilliant. Thanks.
So sorry to interrupt you. Yeah, listen, I'm in a group with Vinny, and Vinny is he's the biggest wind up that you can find. The man put a poll in the group and said, now that Edwards is manager, who do we? Is back in the fold. Who do we think is going to be manager? And he then had like a vote, and he had like lists of different people. Obviously, like the clear one. So he had Amorim, Xabi Alonso, De Zerbi. Those three are fine. Then he put Potter, and I was just like, I don't know. The man added David Moyes, I said, nah, Vinny, you're taking man for an idiot. You're putting David Moyes,
David Moyes.
Yeah. Vinny's got time with his hands in that. David Moyes.
Too much, man. Too much.
I said, like, taking the mix. Sorry.
Yes, brother Vin. Yes, brother Vin. All is well, man. I'm blessed, brother. Good to see you, bro. Nice one, bro.
I'll put David Moyes, Vinny. This guy, I swear.
David Moyes.
Could you imagine David Moyes coming there?
No chance. No chance.
And I think Vinny obviously extends on what you mentioned as well, Dr. Blake, about with Edwards and Hughes both being in the quote, they're obviously young. They've obviously got experience. I mean, my knowledge about Hughes is probably not going to be as extensive as yourself and Artie. I think he was involved in some of the deals that took
okay, go ahead.
Mm.
Was it Van Dijk and Alisson, I believe?
Hughes,
No, not Hughes. Sorry, that's
Michael Edwards.
Edward. Yeah,
Right. Okay. All right. Okay. So yeah, look, we'll have to watch this space.
Yeah, Hughes made some interesting signings. Because there was that period where we were signing that we sold them a few players. So maybe like Edwards has done him a solid because Hughes, it felt like at the time, because what it was Solanke, we got what 20 odd mil. Ibe, what 8, 15? What we got for Ibe?
we got about 15 for him, didn't we?
Then there was that Australian left back, Brad Smith.
Oh yeah.
And I think they gave us about 6 or 8 for him. And look, obviously you don't want to be disparaging about any kind of former LFC player, but he was garbage. So the fact that we got 8 million for him, like, it's crazy. The IB one's the interesting one because he was talented. Obviously, you couldn't predict the mental health one. And I think we would have said at the time that 20 odd mil for Solanke was probably too much money and that we got a very good deal out of it. But on the basis that now he's probably going to go for around 40 or 50 if they sell him, maybe Hughes has got something after all with some of these kind of gamble signings. So it's an interesting record, man.
You know what? I always thought there was a player in there with Solanke, though. You know,
Same still.
always thought there was a player. Do you know what? You know what I liked when he first came to us. I think it was one of the first games he played, and I looked and I saw like his first touch and all that, and I said, "Yeah, I said that boy can play ball, man. He can play ball." But you know what? You know what happens when you're at them clubs? It's just that you get the opportunities to given a chance to produce and show what you can really do. You know what I mean? But no, I always thought there was a player in there.
Same.
And I suppose, yeah, and I think he was a little bit unlucky at Liverpool with the other strikers we had there, and obviously with the series of injuries he's had. But I think he's actually shown since he's been gone to Bournemouth that he's actually a good player. Yeah, and look, credit to him. Sometimes the clubs at the time weren't probably for him, but he's still obviously been able to demonstrate and display that he's a good player. So sorry, Artie, go ahead. I do apologize.
No, I think he's got about 16 goals this season, and his finish last night. He took that very, very well. Very nice finish, man. Trust me, very, very well done. You know what I mean? He showed a few different attributes. Held off the defender, showed strength, good turn, then a good finish. Good, very good goal, man. Very impressive, I must say.
And I guess in Stoney as well, as somebody who I know follows the championship, obviously Hughes signed that Alex Scott to Bournemouth, and he looks like he's going to be a serious player in years to come. Like, I've watched him play without wanting to get carried away, but he reminds me of like a little kind of English version of Thiago at times. He looks a serious baller, man. So yeah, you know, I guess when we start looking at some of the signings Bournemouth have made, you think about the manager, because Gary O'Neill was rated really highly and has done really well this season. But you'd have to say that kind of Areola's probably been a step up on Gary O'Neill as well. So yeah, I guess he's showing that he can make the tough decisions, man.
Yeah, true. So yeah, we'll see how that materializes. City.
What do you guys think about Diaz?
Well,
pardon me?
What did you guys think about Diaz?
That was Diaz of old for me, man. That's like, and it seems funny saying that because he hasn't been at the club as long, but it's like Diaz of old, man. This is what I wanted to see. You know what I mean? Obviously, he had the issue like with his dad and then whatever, and then you know what? It takes time now to get your form back and everything like that. And then you know what? He's had a good run of games. He started to show and produce, and then for me, he was on smoke against City, man. He was on smoke. What he did to Rodri and Walker. Tell me who you see do that.
Yeah, and you know what's funny, Artie? The way you're talking about him, that's how I feel as well. I was just like, I know he missed that, three good chances, one like a really good chance.
Yeah,
and we should be focusing on that as well. But like you, I was just overjoyed to see him back, committing players, taking them on, and
Yeah, not only that, closing down.
Yeah,
As
and
well.
the fight,
Yeah.
the fight's there,
The
really.
fight,
Like
yeah,
the
man. The
intensity.
fight.
Because I
Trust
just think if you
fight.
compare City's previous game against was Man U, right?
Yeah.
And literally every time Kyle Walker got near to Rashford, he literally he had like numerous like loose stools. It was terrible. Whereas it's like Diaz rolls his game. It's like he said, Walker, like, I don't care, innit? Like, yeah, give me the ball, I'm gonna make things happen. And he was a constant thorn in their side. And yeah, I thought he was pretty. Yeah, I thought he was really, really good. It was quite an encouraging performance. However, a bit more quality or composure, and we get the second goal. So it's a really hard one to judge. But for me, look, I'm like you. I see that. I think to myself, actually, this bodes well for the rest of the season, man. Like he was on fire, man.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Agree, Vinny. Agree, Vinny.
I agree, Vinny, man. But listen, what I was saying is beforehand, I think me and you spoke about it in the group, Doctor, that I was saying before the game, I was like, you know what, I'll take a point because this is City we're talking about here. Do you understand? But after watching the game, I am so disappointed that we didn't win. So disappointed that we didn't win. When I tell you we was on stuff, I don't think City expected that. I don't think they expected that. I felt, you know what, they think they're going to be up for a game, but what we did to them, especially in the second half, they weren't ready for that. They weren't ready for that. They were when you see De Bruyne getting taken off and De Bruyne cussing and moaning, it's come on, man. Foden, it's been in the form of his life, wasn't in the game. When you can keep Foden, De Bruyne, and Haaland quiet, that says something for your team. That says something, and to do that and then not win, it's for me, it's a chance missed.
Yeah.
So were you happy? Were you happy with the Let me just. I'm just going to put up 2, 3, 6. I'm just going to put up what our team selection was. So just tell me whether you are happy with the team.
So I think just to kind of extend on what Artie was saying, obviously, like, you don't want to be too gassed or get carried away too much. But in my opinion, this is probably, other than that small window in the FA Cup semi-final 2 seasons back when we fielded Fabinho, Naby, and Thiago, I'd say, and I think there's an argument that this is still higher than that. I think this is, for me, the most technically accomplished midfield we've ever played against City. And yes, we were pressing the life out of them, but when they were pressing us, we could just play around them. And I think this is what also was breaking their hearts as well, that when they were trying to mix fire with fire, we were just popping it around them, pop, move, and I want to say, I think for not the first time, but in one of the more in recent memory, I think it's the most technically accomplished performance I think I've seen us play against City. In that our possession matched theirs, the way we manipulated.
Yeah, we had more of the ball.
Yeah, they couldn't live with us, and I just think we had the intensity and the quality, and I've watched it, think to myself, whoa, like, you can't be nothing but proud, man. And yeah, Mac 10, bloody hell.
Oh my days. I told man, listen, man was talking about, this, that, and the other about him when he's playing as a 6. Wait till the man plays in his normal position, man. Wait till he plays in his normal position. Now my man is pulling all the strings. Nobody ain't talking about Szoboszlai, you know. Listen, this guy's pulling all kind of strings now.
Let me ask you a question. Sorry, and I'm going to go slightly off tangent. Got 2 questions. 1, when fit, does Trent walk back into the team? Don't answer it just yet. Second point linked to that. Has Max 10's upsurge in form coincided with Trent not playing?
Right. For me, number one, you lot should know this already. I'm all about form players. Right now, Bradley's in the form of his life, and I keep saying it. For these guys to be waiting their turn, you get your turn and you're performing, and then this guy comes back and you just want to put him straight back. Like I said, it's out of order. I think it's morale damaging as well. So for me, Trent has to wait. As far as I'm concerned, he has to wait. Not only is Bradley performing, the team is performing. So why do I need to bring him back in straight away? The team is performing. You know what I mean? There's we're scoring goals. We're doing everything. We're letting in minimal goals. So why do I need to bring you back in?
And Bradley's also got the ability.
Time right now. You need to buy your time. And I personally think Matt 10's performances are more because he's playing in his natural position. And
not that
about Trent, I think you've got Endo behind him doing his job, and then you got him and Szoboszlai going for. I think it was natural.
Remember start of the year we played Bournemouth. They were very good. It was one of Bradley's first games. He was wearing the green and the white kit. And I think Matt 10 was probably man of the match. And I think if people watching it, be like, boy, Matt 10 really stepped up. You probably got memories of him really dominating the game, right? He also played 6 in that game as well. Now, Now, my thinking on the Trent one, if I wanted to be controversial, is I think obviously we know Trent is an absolute baller. I've said for ages, I think forget one of the best fullbacks, but I think he's one of the best players in the world. Hands up. I do think where Trent dominates and essentially is one of the key playmakers in the team, I think you take him out of the team and I think the ball funnels through Matt 10 a lot more. Yeah. And I think this is why I posed the question. I feel like we're using him like it's almost like we're playing through him a lot.
Mm-hmm. He's the orchestrator right now.
Yeah, and it's why Trent's in the team. Do we still use him in the same way? I'm not so sure. It's balance, isn't it?
Yeah, true.
And I think back to the first point, as much as I do love Trent, with Bradley there, I never have to worry about the intensity and the application in the defending. Like I know if you're going to beat Bradley, you need to do some kind of world-class skill to go past him, or if not, he's in your face on you.
Yep.
And I'm not going to lie. I feel a lot more at peace with Bradley playing right back than Trent. I feel bad saying that, but
no, but he does. You're right, because Bradley plays as a right back.
Yeah,
that's the difference. He plays as a right back.
He's on it, man.
Yeah,
he's on it.
That's his job, and that's what he does. Trent doesn't play as your orthodox right back, so that's why there'll always be an issue, or you'll be having heart palpitations.
Yeah, like you don't have to worry. Like Bradley's on it. Someone gets the ball, he's in their face. He's as those you say, he's standing on business, man. Yeah, I'm not sure Trent starts for that, which is nuts.
He's on job.
Yeah, bro. It's balance, man. Because let's be honest.
But it's a good headache to have, man.
Yeah, because as good as obviously Trent showed tremendous quality when we played against them at the Etihad and scored that unbelievable win. I mean, equalizer. But let's be real. Pep had set up the team so that Doku could isolate Trent because they saw Trent defending as a weakness.
Of
100.
Of course.
I think with Bradley playing, I just don't feel like we have that same kind of weakness at all. And I feel bad saying that. I love Trent to pieces, but
it's the truth though. And everybody else can see it because everybody talks about it.
Yeah, boy.
That's what everyone talks about.
Like, because I'm thinking to myself, if Trent was playing, I 100% believe that Pep starts Doku.
Yeah. Yep. Doku get it in one-on-one is peak.
Yeah.
What I respected as well about Klopp was starting Gomez, even though Robertson was back and fit. Remember, we had the conversation a few weeks ago about does Robertson come back in? And man was saying, because he's naturally left-footed and whatever. Klopp said, oh, yeah. Yeah. I've got him on that side there. And you know what I think as well? Because his pace as well.
Yeah, and he's a real athlete, isn't he?
Yes, there's even talk of him maybe getting another England call up.
Well, he has been called up.
Oh, there you go then.
He has been called up, and I think that extends on what you were just saying as well, Artie, about the consistency that Gomez is played in any position across the back, whether he's had to play as the hybrid right back, whether he's played the right side of the central defender, whether he's played the left side of central defender, whether he's played left back. In fairness, he has just been consistent in every single game.
He's played number 6 too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Number 6.
Number 6 as well.
Yeah. And he's also been the captain. I think all he has to do to come off this season, as you mentioned, is to score. But you're right. The fact that he's obviously got the call up, and he will obviously feature in the squad now against Brazil. That's obviously an absolute credit to him, and his determination to say that he definitely deserves a place in Liverpool. So
definitely
good player, 100%. And I think credit to Klopp as well, in a sense that with Gomez, he gives you a bit of tactical flexibility in that, yes, he can start left back, but he can do a couple of different things. And I think one of the key moves that Klopp made after that first opening period that I think gave us a bit of tactical control in the game is, rather than kind of us looking like he's playing free at the back, it feels like Klopp really made Gomez invert it into midfield, and then we kind of really created this kind of box midfield, and he squeezed like really high up. So we were a lot more compact, so they couldn't kind of escape our pressing in the same way. So like I'd say from probably, I don't know, minute 15, 20 onwards, Gomez was essentially inverting into midfield from left back. So yeah, man, the guy's been unbelievable, man. He's been unbelievable.
Definitely.
Boy, Stoney. See that cucumber juice you were talking about, bro? Remember that? You see that cucumber juice you were talking about?
There you go. So the question is, I'm sure there were many points of discussion throughout the game. From your viewpoint and upon your own reflection, was that a sending off for Doku on Mac 10? And what's your rationale behind
what is Jackie Chan?
Yeah.
Listen, brother, that's a pen all day long. And it's like what do you call it said? This is a fact. 100% fact. Anywhere else on the pitch, it's a free kick.
Yeah.
Anywhere else on the pitch, it's a free kick. So how you can't give that as a penalty is beyond me. Absolutely beyond me. It's absolutely unbelievable. But you know what? To be fair, it's the standard of what we're used to right now. And that's why I hate when people say Liverpool when we get decisions like that. It's an absolute joke. Absolute joke. I don't know about sending off, maybe a booking or whatever, but it's a penalty.
Yeah, 100.
All day long, it's a penalty. There's no if or buts. I don't get it. No ifs or buts.
And I think what was telling, going back to the League Cup final, when we beat Chelsea, you could see the rage in Neville, and that's why he cussed off Chelsea and called what was it? Blue billionaire?
Bottle jokes. Something like that.
Because he was so vexed because he doesn't like Liverpool winning. He was so vexed. He destroyed Chelsea. Two key things. When it happens, you hear Neville, he's in trouble here, you know.
Yes.
Like, he's in trouble here, you know. And you can see him thinking, Jesus, a penalty, man. Like, I don't want this to happen. Neville's not even trying to be like, I don't know. You can see the panic in Neville because he's like, bloody hell, Doku. If they win this, they're going to win the league. So Neville is convinced it's going to go to VAR and it's going to be, they're going to send the ref to watch the screen. Neville's convinced by it. The VAR who they appointed, what's his name again? Is it Mike? What's his name? Not Mike Reed. Mike.
I can tell you what his name is, mate, but I don't know if I can do that on here.
Mike Dean. Who was doing that? Who was doing like the Sky VAR thing? He says, "Yeah, I think that's a penalty." You know. So, two people who we know do not want to give us anything, watching it in real time, have said, "Yeah, that's a penalty." And then obviously Mike Dean, being the Jenna who he is, The moment it's then not given, he then changes his track and then says, "Oh yeah, I can see why they haven't given it." Nah, brethren. 30 seconds ago, the whole world heard you say that's a penalty. So I just think, yeah, it was a clear penalty. We didn't get it. And I think it called into question the integrity of the league, where Man City are owned by a country, and that country flies out Premier League referees to go and referee in their league.
Yeah,
I think it's a massive conflict of interest. Massive.
100%. 100%. Ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous decision, man. Absolutely ridiculous.
The only silver lining with that one is I think Mo Salah takes it, and I don't know if Mo Salah scores. So whereas I think if it's Mac, I think Mac's bearing it all day in it.
Of course.
But I don't think Mac takes it.
Why?
I don't think Mac takes it. Because Salah's on the pitch.
But he's banged one already.
Bro, Salah
banged one already.
Bruv, in Salah's mind, he's the Lion of Judah, isn't it? Like he's yeah. Like Salah's taking the thing, bro. Salah's taking the penalty. I don't know if Salah scores. So, like, because I can see it being a big thing in it. Matt's going to walk towards the ball, but he's not going to take it because Matt's not like that kind of arrogant kind of character. He's going to kind of tentatively like walk. Mo's going to walk with authority. Nah, rude boy, I'm number one, and I don't care if you just banged one. That's on me. And then it's going to be, oh, should Matt be taking it and Mo taking it? And I think Mo probably scuffs it and misses it. So, I'll be real.
Yeah, I got every confidence in Mac, man. Every confidence.
You have to, bro.
Every confidence.
Crazy composure. Crazy.
Yeah.
Well, that draw there keeps us joint second in the league. Joint second in the league on points with Arsenal, with City behind us on 1 point.
I think we ended the day in a good position. And yes, like we have to put it down as drop points. Darwin had that really, I wouldn't say really good chance, but he had that decent chance from that Robbo cross. I'm not quite sure he could have done anything else with it, but you would have liked if it maybe he could have scored it. Right? But you wouldn't really call it a miss, though, that makes sense. Diaz had to score one of his. But I just think, although we drop points, I think the nature of the performance has to galvanize the team even further. Because let's be honest, innit? City are seen as like our biggest challenge. And for most of that team, they haven't dominated a game against City like that. They've done the blood and thunder and the pressing, and they've got after City doing that, but they haven't shown the composure, technical ability, midfield ability to dominate City and really have them looking like an inferior team. So I just think the squad will grow from that performance. So yeah, like I think it was ultimately a encouraging day.
Yeah, no, I hear what you're saying there, and it's true. Yeah, it's going to be galvanized by that, but it's still not. It's out of our hands. So no matter how galvanized we are, if we win all our games and Arsenal win all theirs, it doesn't matter. They still win.
Yeah,
and that's the difference.
True.
You understand? That's the difference. So I prefer if we'd have won the game, it's in our hands. Let them have to chase us. That then being galvanized like that counts for a lot more.
Yeah, gosh, imagine if Arsenal win it. Lord.
That's what I'm saying. I'm disappointed with that. After seeing that performance, I'm disappointed not to get the 3 points.
But then in saying that, you got to remember in the next game's Arsenal versus City.
Yeah,
City.
Unlikely Arsenal go there and win. Unlikely.
It just keeps it nice and exciting.
Listen,
it just keeps it nice and exciting.
I feel a lot of people might get a bit of a surprise. I was saying it at the beginning of the season. Arsenal will be a lot better after last season. What happened to them, and with the acquisition of Declan Rice, they'll be a lot stronger. They'll have learned a lot, and especially what City did to them last time. City won't have it all their own way.
Agreed.
So this is a different Arsenal now, and I think they've got a different mentality now as well. So City won't have it their own way. And especially Arsenal would have looked at that performance and thought, oh, okay. Yeah, okay. I'm telling you. Telling you.
Yeah, no.
So what are you?
Credit to Arteta.
So with Anthony Herbert's question here, then can you envisage Arsenal possibly going that one step further? We're aware what happened to them.
Nah, they ain't getting no
season.
Champions League. They ain't getting no Champions League. They're still gonna have to wait for that. They ain't getting no Champions League.
So, Anthony, your question, a response to your question is the answer is just a nice straight no. There you go.
I think Arsenal have had a bit of a reality check this week. And yes, they've got 2 wins, but I think it's been a bit of a realignment for, look, not all fans are the same. Arsenal have got a lot of reasonable and sensible fans, but they've also got a lot of fans who are smoking a incredibly powerful strain of greed. So, some Arsenal fans who I know are talking about, Porto, easy pickings. Next round. Then you're seeing that boy, Porto took you to penalty shootout, yeah? And let's be honest, the Portuguese team is dominated by Porto and Benfica. Every now and then Sporting have a say in that. So Porto are third in a 3-man league. This isn't a vintage Porto team at all.
No.
So a Porto team who's third had them like life and death, like in a penalty shootout. So I think this week has certainly settled some of the Arsenal gas. Let's just call it the Arsenal gas. So
playing against a man like Pepe who's soon to collect his pension. Come on,
bro. Pepe dominated the game. He looked class though.
Like, come on, man. But their tactics are horrible, though, man. They remind me of flipping Atletico. Proper spoilers.
That's what European football is, though, man.
Proper spoilers,
man. That's what it is. If one team's got the money, then like you got to spoil it. But then I think this is where Arsenal are going to struggle because although they've scored a lot of goals, but Arteta is still quite this season he's been quite a cautious manager in that he doesn't open up the game to let Arsenal get counter-attacked. So he could have opened up the game a lot more, but he chose not to. And it's almost like Arsenal basically just resigned themselves to either scoring from a corner, which is what they are brilliant at, or it was going to go to extra time and penalties. So I just think, if more Premier League teams take up these types of tactics against them, they probably will drop points. Because when you check it, you never see Arsenal get countered. Never. Never. And the reality is the man's playing 4 centre-backs.
No, good point.
Like, they're quite a cautious team with the ball. It's just like they almost just rely on their wingers 1v1 or a bit of kind of Odegaard magic, or their biggest weapons being set pieces. Hence why you think to yourself, with Arteta, is it Diet Pep or is it Diet Tony Pulis? So, because bruv, they're set piece bosses, bruv. It's almost like you see it in games, they will almost say to themselves, we're not going to score an open play, let's just win a corner.
Well, I suppose they've probably done what City have done. And I mean, there's lots. I think Liverpool have got a throwing specialist at our club. You can obviously see when City scored that, when John Stones scored that goal against Liverpool, they were all pointing to one of their technical coaches on the bench, and I think he got a lot of recognition because it was him that kind of, brought together that tactic. So they were more appreciative of that coach there as well. So you're right, Arsenal have probably got the same thing, and I suppose those are the thin margins where the elite teams obviously end up getting the results. So
not just the same thing, Stoney. The Arsenal set piece coach is actually the set piece coach from Man City.
Well, there you go then. There you go.
This is why the man can't get stripes yet. It's almost like you've taken Pep's tactics, Pep's players, Pep's staff. Like, I need to see what is unique to you, Arteta. But anyway.
Yeah.
So really, I think if there's any Arsenal supporters actually tuning into the show, which I'm sure there are, then really you've got it's probably like when Mourinho won at Inter Milan and then Benitez came in afterwards. Benitez didn't get any recognition because it was really Inter Milan's, all of Mourinho's players. So I suppose it's going to be the same thing with Arsenal. They really had to buy everything from Man City in order to win some silverware. But or attempt to. Sorry.
Bro, don't be
attempt to.
surprised if Arsenal sign Jack Grealish next season, bro. Like,
Oh,
they're 100 signing a City player like in the next 2 years. Like 100. 100.
Anyway, so let's move on away from Arsenal. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and click on that notification button. Everybody who's tuning into the show this evening, we ended up playing the second leg of our Europa fixture against Sparta Prague, and if you were not watching the game within the first 4 or 5 minutes, then you would have missed a series of goals. Was anybody able to watch the fixture from the beginning? And what was your thoughts about the game, Artie?
Right. So I was watching something else, turned over, just remembered, oh yeah, must be time for the Liverpool game. And when I turned over, it was 14 minutes gone and it was 4-0. I was like, bloody hell. 14 minutes gone and 4-0. But nah, to be honest, yeah, I'm happy that we won convincingly, but they're a dead team, to be fair. But you can only beat what they put in front of you. But I'm not, like Arsenal fans and hyping up over it. It's got the job done. And we're through to the next round. That's the main thing. Job done. I think the only one who had got a slight knock was Bobby Clark.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was a bit surprised when Klopp was bringing on Virgil for the last half an hour. I was thinking, you know what, he's one who we should definitely be resting for Sunday. But luckily enough, yeah, the only one who got a knock was Bobby Clark. Didn't look to be nothing too serious. So yeah, but yeah, man, stellar performance. Good goals. Gakpo should have had a hat trick. A good run out, man. Good run out. Good run out for the boys.
Dr. Blake, your thoughts? Did you manage to watch the game at all?
So I actually watched the game, but missed 4 goals. We scored the first goal. Cool. The second goal, we score it whilst they're showing the replay, and then I then saw it afterwards. I was like, all right, cool. Like, we've got this game showing up. Went to go and fry some fish quickly. Just for your info, still only had a bit of snapper and some black-eyed peas and that. And I'll come back to the screen to come and tuck into my things then. And then it's 4-0. I was like, jeez, I don't know. I've missed 2 more goals. Half time, I put on a bit of Elden Ring to get back involved for when the DLC comes out. To play maybe for like 5 minutes longer into the second half. I turn over and then it's 6. I was like, Jesus Christ. I've actually watched the whole game and missed 4 goals. So I would have to watch it. But yeah, I just think on Bobby Clark, almost like he's done his job now for us this season. Yeah, we might still need him every now and then, but Gravenberch's back to training. I know Jones, Trent should be back after the international break. I think Jones might be back to training this week as well. So I feel like the Bobby Clarks and that we probably won't even need as much now for the rest of the season. But I just feel when we've needed these young lions to step up, they've been unbelievable now. But now the first team players are coming back, then they'll probably start less and less. So yeah, shout out to Bobby Clark. I think he's really left the mark with the coaching staff, the technical team, of what he can be next season, man.
Definitely.
So what was your thoughts on Cody?
Cody, yeah, he did all right, He did all right from what I saw. He did all right. But he's another one, like I said, I keep repeating myself. I'm like a broken record. Man needs consistent games in a consistent position. And then I think that's when you'll start seeing the best out of people once again. You know what I mean? It's the same, and you can see it when you start looking at other players. You see it now. Because one point everyone was talking about, Gomez's time is up now. We need to get rid of him. All of a sudden, you know what I mean? He could be pushing for flipping player of the season.
Yeah,
You know what I
true.
mean? Games after games, and after that, and then you start see performances come through.
Mm.
You know what I mean? That people need a consistent run, man. And I think with him as well, he needs a consistent position and let him play there. And then I start thinking you'll see the best out of him, because he's definitely a baller, but he's not your out and out striker for me.
And you're right. He's still plying his trade at Liverpool. And as much as he may have had an indifferent game, he still scored a brace today.
Yeah.
So it's progress for him as well, isn't it? Really.
Cody's a quality player. I do find him frustrating. I will be honest. It's not that I don't think he's a good player. I just think sometimes, I don't know. See, with like Diaz, for example, Diaz might miss a chance, or he might not show the relevant, I guess, skill set or composure based on the position. But with Diaz, I can always see him fighting. I can always see him backing up the centre back. He wants the ball. He gets physical, and hopefully Cody will develop this. But I just find him just a bit too soft.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
And yeah, like I go back to that Arsenal game, and I'm thinking, Cody, you're playing against Zinchenko. You're 6'3" or wherever it is. He was on LFC TV saying that you're the second fastest at the club. You're meant to dominate Zinchenko, but he just doesn't have that, if it's aggression or just that intensity yet. Hopefully he can develop that. But yeah, I just need to see a bit more intensity from Cody. But I do take Artie's point. I think not only have we played him in too many positions, but we played him in positions that he's not suited to. I think with Cody, it either needs to be from the left, and then you let him drift infield, get someone on the overlap, or you play him in that kind of false nine where he can kind of come back and link play and then try to spin.
Definitely.
Whereas I think in recent games we've played him as just like orthodox number 9, and he's not suited to that. So I think we have to acknowledge that the roles that we've given him don't suit him as well. So it's patience in it with some of these guys. Sometimes it's patience, man. And he's still a young guy. You can see that the dressing room really like him. His bond with Curtis is really strong as well. So hopefully he can show some of that quality that he's got in this running, man. But I think it's just patience, because yeah, in recent weeks I've watched Cody play, and I've been like, sell him, man. Spread the E, like, sell him.
Yeah. I do get that feeling sometimes, and what I've noticed from a lot of conversations, and that the jury is still out with him. To be fair, they're expecting a lot more of him. I think he came with a big rep. To be fair, I think what was the tournament that he played before he came to us?
It's World Cup.
World Cup, yeah, the World Cup, and he was shining. You know what I mean? So he came to us with a big rep, basically. So I think that's played a part of what people were expecting. You know what I mean? So, but I like I said once again, there's a player in there. We know there's a player in there.
I like him still
in one of those two positions, from the left or as a false 9, and I think that's when we'll get the best out of him. To be fair, Dr. Blake, you said he's the second fastest at the club. Behind who?
Bro, so there was this not fan channel, the like official club channel does those little like snippets, and it has like kind of interviews with players and that. So it was one with him and Curtis, and they're asking them questions, and they're basically saying like, who's like the strongest or the best right foot and the fastest. So they say like, who's the fastest to the both of them, and I think they said Diaz. Which I was surprised by. Yeah, I was surprised by Diaz. And then Cody then says, then it's me. And then Curtis is like, are you sure? And he's like, yeah, we had like the sprint test and that. And my speed was the second highest after Diaz's. So I was just like, rude boy, okay, cool. Like, I'm not doubting you, but if you're telling me that you're the second fastest at the club, that you're faster than Gomez,
faster than Gomez.
Gomez, Van Dijk, Kanate, Mo, Darwin. If you're telling me that you're faster than these bros, I expect you to be rolling and running at Zinchenko, in it. So, like, you know that phrase, talk is cheap, motherfucker, in it. Like, talk is cheap. But yeah, but maybe he's one of these guys who he doesn't have what we would call acceleration, but when his legs are opened up and he's going at top speed, he's got that kind of pace. But I was surprised by that. So yeah, I think with Cody, we just have to be patient, man. And well, well, I say we, me included, because yeah, no doubt we'll play against Man U. He'll challenge one of their fullbacks for the ball and lose, and I'd be like, oh, sell this bread, sell this bread.
What
look,
do you think, Stoney?
Pardon me?
What do you think of him, Stoney?
I think that he's just a player similar to Diaz, a player similar to Darwin Núñez as well. They just need time, and I think as a club, as we have shown at Liverpool, we'll always give our players time. Where I believe that they will benefit is that we have a series of forwards. So yeah, I do understand that Jota's currently injured at the moment, but at any given time, we've got about 6 different offensive players. If we include Harvey Elliott up there, we played obviously against Man City. So I think the time is on his hands. There's obviously we want him to hit the floor running. He's not, but he's got time. I think we're probably seeing the best of Darwin Núñez this season. If you compare his progress from last season to this season, you can see he's made an improvement, and I'm confident that we'll see the same with Gapco for next season as well. So, you know, he's going to be fine. There's no rush there. Definitely no rush. And guess what? We may well see the best of him come Sunday. So Sunday we visit. Sunday, at 3:30, we visit the Theatre of Clowns to play Manchester United in the FA Cup. It's a game that historically when we go to that stadium, we don't always get the results that we want. Team selection. Who would you guys like to see selected for Liverpool, and how do you see the game progressing? Actually, before I get onto that, before I speak about team selection, I just want to ask both of you while we're on the channel, your thoughts on Gallagher's progress since Becker has been unavailable.
What a keeper, man. And once again, another one. You see what's happened now. He's getting game time again. You'll see what happens when man get actual real life game time, not training, match game time. I'm telling you, this guy's made some great saves that you're saying, really and truly, have we really missed Alisson?
No. And that's Artie. I was thinking the same thing. I was having a conversation in one of my other groups as well. And somebody posted a question and he said, does Liverpool have one of the best number 2 goalies in the league?
Oh, yeah. Definitely. Definitely. That goes without saying. That goes without saying. I hear a lot of people saying, oh, yeah, but he's not with blah, blah, like Alisson with his feet, blah, blah, blah. Yo, listen, I'm still old school. He's a goalkeeper. I want you to stop the ball going in the bloody nets. That's what I want you to do. And he's been doing a tremendous job at that.
The thing is, he's good with his feet as well, I think. I think he's good with his feet, man.
Yeah,
I think he's more composed.
Yeah, he's not as good as, obviously, as Alisson and that, but he's still decent with his feet.
I think he's good, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think when he came into the side for a couple of games, I think it was at Sheffield United or Brentford. It would have been about November, December. He looked really, really poor. And I think a few fans were kind of getting onto him a little bit. And I thought my thinking was, as Artie was saying, I thought he just needs games, because 2 years ago he looked better than what he looks right now at that period of time. So my thing would have been, I would have been looking to have loaned him obviously not this season, but probably next season. I just think he's stagnating. True that he hasn't played games. Obviously, unfortunately, Alisson gets injured. He gets to run in the team, and I think he's been absolutely top draw. I think what he's also got, he's got a similar skill set to Alisson. Obviously, he's not as good, but he does the sweeper-keeper thing. We can play for him. He can pass and control the ball off both feet. He's good at closing down angles. He's made some key saves. Think about Foden on Sunday.
Cup final.
Yeah. Mate, the cup final was... Like, that cup... Yeah. Do you know what? It does remind me of. Do you remember the season when we won the league and Adrian came in for about 10 games or 8 games at the start of that season? And I was worried, and then my man managed to think he was someone else, and like he was guaning in goal, like he was flexing. and Kelleher right now, obviously we want Alisson back, but I just think, yeah, if the way he's playing, it feels like if Kelleher can stay fit for the rest of the season, I feel we can win every cup without him playing in goal right now. He's just, I think it's just absolute self-belief, man. So like credit to him, man. Because I just think, you see, when you see players overcoming adversity, and he knows that he would have played poorly, but the fact that he's just maintained that not maintained, he's just like improved his level so much. I just think, yeah, man, have to respect that.
No, nice. You probably echoed everything I said in the other group as well, so that's a good one.
Yeah, big boy keeper, man, big boy.
Yeah. So I think it's probably a gimme then that he's going to feature in the quarterfinal of the FA Cup on Sunday. Dr. Blake, what team would you like Klopp to start with on Sunday?
So before I answer that, can I just say that I need to stop questioning Klopp? Like, I know more about football than what Klopp does. So yeah, like clearly I don't, because when our starting lineup for the Europa League game, I was just like, why have you gone so strong for this game when we've got City on Sunday? We get the 4-0 win. We can then play a strong team against City, and then we can play a team today to give certain players match sharpness and to give other players a rest. So I feel going into the Man U game now, it feels like we've got a very strong team to select. Players who are fit, who have had a bit of a rest. So yeah, credit to Klopp again. I actually think there's an argument to say this is Klopp's best season so far as an actual manager. I think his management and tactics has been absolutely outstanding. So for me, I think it's the same team that started against City, other than potentially Mo starts instead of Harvey. But because of the way Harvey's playing, I think if Harvey does start, I think Harvey does a job.
So with that, then, if that was the same team as City, Gomez starts left back, Bradley starts at right back. Then, yeah. Okay, fine. Okay, so that means no Gakpo in that team either. Okay, right, that's fine. So if that was the same team you were saying, bar Mo Salah, that means your team selection, Dr. Blake, would be Gallagher in goal, Gomez, Van Dijk, Kwanzaa, and Bradley at the back, Dominic, Endo, Mac 10, and then Diaz, Darwin Núñez, and then Salah replaces Elliott up top. Is that right?
Same team.
Same team.
Yeah.
Same team.
Or if Elliott starts, I just think the way Elliott's playing right now, and we bring Mo off the bench, then I'm good with that as well. Although, because Man you've got I said they've got a centre back playing at left back, right?
Yes, they have.
Plus Evans is playing and he's back team. Is Harry
Did
Maguire?
he come off the last game?
They reckon they might have Rasmus Højlund back though.
Yeah.
One thing they did say.
Like he's a good player. So actually, maybe no. So Mo played all the game today. Yeah. I don't know what Klopp's thinking in terms of just where he sees Mo, if he sees Mo starting. But I think on the basis that the left side of Manchester United defence is either going to be Lindelof, Maguire, or Evans. You can see the
Maguire's injured. I reckon it's going to be Evans and Varane, you know. But I think Maguire's actually injured.
So then, yeah. Actually, to be fair, then like Darwin will run in behind if Harvey moves in the field and there's a run. So yeah, look, I'm comfortable with the same team that started against City, and Mo comes off the bench if we need him.
Yeah, because we wonder how Mo's legs are going to be feeling, because he did want to take him off to rest him, but that's when Bobby Clark came up with the injury, so that's why he's taking off Bobby instead. He's going to take him off with about 20, 15 to go. But yeah, that's when he took him Bobby Clark off instead. So see how his legs feel. Yeah, like
No,
you said, I'm calm with it, man, because he done a job against City. So why can't he do a job against United?
True.
Gosh, it's fascinating to think, and that we're talking about Man City, and we're talking about Man U, who's always been a hard game for us, and we're saying we are not good, but we're okay with Trent and Mo not starting. It's nuts, isn't it?
Nuts. It is. No one would have thought that.
Crazy.
No one would have thought that. But yeah, they've come a long way, man. Come a long way. And I still feel that people don't get it twisted. Man United are going to turn up for this. They ain't got nothing else to play for, really. So they will be turning up for it. You know what I mean? Everyone's expected it's going to be a walkover.
And that's a big game. Tight game.
Well, come on. But you know, people are thinking, oh, the form Liverpool are in, the form Man United are in. It's like, yeah, Liverpool's supposed to win. We're the favourites. But it's not going to be a walkover. And you know that personal rivalry that you have as well, that Man United will raise their game for it. I just believe if we perform how we can, then yeah, we'll go through. That's what it is.
Brilliant. Well, on that note, I'm confident that next week, Thursday, we'll be back at 10 o'clock to make sure that we can have a nice discussion about the manner in which we were victorious against Manchester United on Sunday. I'd just like to thank everybody for tuning in as normal on a Thursday to Cop Talk. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit that notification button. RT, sir, thank you. Welcome back.
Yeah,
we deeply appreciate your thoughts.
Nice to be back.
Yeah, we deeply appreciate your thoughts and your content.
Thanks for holding the fort, man.
Listen, that's what we do. We just share. We just extend knowledge on this show, man. That's the way it's always been. And that's the way we'll continue. Dr. Blake, thanks once again for tuning in today.
Thank you, Janet. Sorry, I'm smiling. I just was, I think, on my Twitter feed, a post from BT Sports now called TNT with the headline in quotes, "It was not our night. Ajax captain Jordan Henderson discusses a tough return to a Premier League ground. It just gets better and better. Come on, Virgil van Dijk." It was not our night.
Oh, goodness. Listen, gents, you guys have a lovely evening. Thanks everybody else for tuning in. And as I said, we see everybody next week, Thursday at 10 o'clock.